Oh, good evening, Zacherley here. And Henry the werewolf of London seems a little frozen in time here, but he's always hanging around, you know, taking a nip once in a while. Well, we're gathered here this evening. Sounds like a funeral, doesn't it? Actually, we're about to witness some of these old kinescopes that have been stuffed away in my closet for many these many years, since 58, 9, all in there, maybe 19 and 58, 59, so on. And kinescopes, in case you have forgotten or never knew the reason for their existence, there was no videotape in the old days, and used to aim a film camera at a TV tube, and that's what you got, you know. And that's the record they had of old television shows, of which I represent a certain, you know, portion of. And back in Philadelphia, which is out that way somewhere, I was doing this business of introducing late night horror movies known as shock theater. What a great name, shock theater. Oh, my word. All from Hollywood, you know, and black and white films that I was not allowed to see when I was a small little monster. But eventually, in my middle age, which I think of as many years ago, I saw all these films, and so did you, a lot of you. And this first one was taken by a chiropractor or a doctor or something, some amateur guy who knew about aiming a 16mm camera at the TV tube, and sound, of course, he had sound. So what he got was the picture a little wavy there, because his antenna on the roof, you know, was not properly aimed at the TV station and so on. At any rate, came off pretty well in the end, you know, but it showed how we started this whole business of introducing late night scary movies on television. Aren't you glad? Parents raised hell. They raised hell. They thought this would be a bad thing for children to see these horror movies in their very own living rooms, mind you. And some kids were forbidden to watch, but they used to sneak downstairs, remember? When Mom and Daddy were up doing other things in their locked bedroom, you would go downstairs and hang out and watch TV. Well, anyway, the videotapes, when they did come in, and then there are 4 tapes we're going to show this evening, mostly about the intermissions, where we were doing these marvelous experiments and fooling around with the commercials and all. When the videotape did come in, these big reels of 2-inch tape. I've been on a diet of popcorn here, and it's, there we go. Nothing like burnt popcorn to keep you fit. Anyway, the big 2-inch reels of tape, 2-inch tape, was like $300 a reel. Wow, who could afford that? So we have these guys just shooting the intermissions and not the whole film. Anyway, you've seen the films, you know. We did just jump in and out and have fun with the story, and make fun with the commercials and so on. And you'll see some of that. But let me see. I wrote down this stuff here because my brain is not what it used to be. It wasn't too great in the old days, tell the truth. Oh, in Philadelphia, we had this big open house. They wanted to find out how many people were watching. I hate to say it, 13,000 people, they said. I think they exaggerated or just plain lied. I think maybe 3,000, but 13,000 is a pretty good figure. And it was very exciting. Everybody came to see the studio, and I'm standing there waving to people, you know, and making faces at them as I make at you, and I was groaning and grinding my teeth and all that. And it was very exciting in Philadelphia. Well, it's not all that exciting in Philadelphia. It's not that exciting a city, actually. I think I should have been born in New York City, where it's a much wilder town, and you have much more fun up here, those of you who live in this area. At any rate, eventually I came up here to New York, and we did the show up here. Channel 7 was the first place we landed, and then went to Channel 9 and Channel 11. Used up all their movies, you know, and moved on to the next batch of films. But most of the stuff we have here is from the first year that I was here in New York City. I had the great old films of Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman and all those good old things that you remember. The classics, as we say, the classics. And I had my wife in the box there, brought her with me from Philadelphia. Philadelphia, by the way, they called me Roland, and when I moved up to New York, they thought, well, why don't you use your own name? You know, that's pretty weird. So we did that. So that's the family name, the Zacherley thing. That's how they came about. Philadelphia had a huge studio in Philadelphia. In New York, had a very tiny little studio, and I've told the story before how we used to set off a rocket in Philadelphia. And it was a big, tall rocket, big as myself, and up it would go, you know, with smoke coming out the bottom and all that stuff. Very exciting. And up here in New York, if we set off a rocket, it would sit on the table where my wife was residing underneath. It would go about 3 inches, turn sideways, and go off camera that way, which is a unique way of shooting the moon. We used to think the Russians were pulling some fast stuff on us and getting all those giant rockets up there, and we couldn't figure out how they do it. They were going to set them up like a scenic railway, but that wasn't true after all. And they sent them off just like we did down there in Cape Canaveral, Kennedy. Cape Kennedy, we used to call it. Cape Canaveral. At any rate, we'll let turn the page here. We had some very exciting evenings of educational stuff, lectures and so on. And I think one of these things we're going to show you, we're doing an opera, very high-class stuff. And in the end, of course, as usually happened at the end of the season, we had a visit from Dr. Bellevue, take me back to the booby hatch for the summer. Well, old Bellevue Hospital, grand old place in Philadelphia. So I think I've told you all I can think about here. You will learn how, in the first film, you will learn how to make a Dracula fizz. And I've been living on those fizzes for many years, and that's why I'm able to be here, even though I'm not allowed to stand up for other reasons. I won't fall over. Dracula fizz, I recommend that. It's something you can do at home. Most of the stuff I used to do, please don't ever try at home. All right? Well, here's the first one from Philadelphia. So hang on. It's in glorious black and white, and it'll remind you of those old days way back before 1960 even happened. Whoa!
With Roland. Tonight, Dracula. We've all seen the ghoul named Roland, but of my dear, only her hand. Could it be he has fear because Igor is near, that he won't show the rest of my dear?
I am Roland, and that very interesting limerick you just heard was sent to me by Mrs. Irene Thompson of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't mind telling you that the joke is on you, Irene. If my dear ever started getting restless, Igor would run around like a werewolf trapped in the sunlight.
Here comes a 10-ton steamroller to give revolutionary new stainless vinyl Sandran floor covering the toughest test ever. We're throwing the world's worst staining agents on beautiful Sandran. Tomatoes, lemons, grapes, ink, bleach, and grease. And attempting to steamroller these stains into stainless vinyl Sandran with 10 tons of massive pressure. But watch this. One swish of a damp sponge mop wipes Sandran clean.
Because Sandran's 100% vinyl surface won't spot, won't stain, never needs scrubbing, keeps its just wax look without constant care.
So, stop working so hard. Get a gleaming, seamless vinyl Sandran floor for any room in your home. It's easy to be your own home decorator with stainless vinyl Sandran. There are over 90 clear, bright, beautiful Sandran colors and patterns for you to choose from. You can cover a big 9x12 floor for less than $20, so stop scrubbing forever. See stainless vinyl Sandran at your Sandran franchise dealer today.
He's going, you! Well, I want to hear and see one of your home movies, I'll tell you, not before. Interrupting my valuable time like that, Igor. You've got a nerve, you do. In observance of National Home Beverage Week, I'm going to explain tonight the makings of the famous Dracula fizz. I hope you're all paying attention out there, because I do not intend to repeat my instructions. I've made several testings, my dear. How was that last little sample, my dear? Yeah, perhaps a little more. You mind your manners, you witch, you. Insufferable woman. Tonight I'm going to tell you the story of the grand master of the undead creatures of darkness. Now I hope you're paying attention so that you can learn a thing or two. I tell you the story of my old friend, Dracula.
I say, Porter, don't take my luggage down. I'm going on to Borgo Pass tonight.
Borgo Sorosbo, maestre? Yes. Borgo Sorosbo, maestre. Big Mama, Borgo Sorosbo, Carmen. It's inferior.
No, please, put that back up there.
The driver, he is afraid. Walpurgis Knight. Good fellow he is. He wants me to ask if you can wait and go on after sunrise.
Well, I'm sorry, but there's a carriage meeting me at Borgo Pass at midnight.
Borgo Pass?
Yes.
Whose carriage?
Count Dracula's.
Count Dracula's?
Yes.
Castle Dracula?
Yes, that's where I'm going.
To the castle?
Yes.
No. You mustn't go there.
You will see that I get lives. Not human lives, but small ones. With blood in them. I'll be loyal to you, Master. I'll be loyal.
He got the job. You'll excuse me, that's totally just a moment. All right. I'm sorry, these are two old friends of mine. They're from an old Transylvania family of living heads. And they're a little mean right now with jealousy. See, their cousin, mind you, is starring in a new Hollywood movie, a film called The Man Without a Body, mind you. Terribly exciting story about an ancient head, 400 years old, procured for a dangerous and exciting brain transplanting operation and experiment. You can understand why these two dear old headless friends of mine are so jealous. There he is, the head of horror that lives and talks and destroys with his diabolical power. That is, up to the point where the good doctors decide to attach it to the living body of a healthy young man. Count Dracula and I nominate this story, this film, for the Grand Academy Award of Transylvania. And the runner-up for the award
There's a film for the ladies called Fright. Story about a young lady who had to be killed to live. Both of these charming pictures are at your local cinemas starting Sunday, the 9th of March. You cannot see these at home like you're doing now, you lazy people. You have to go out. I intend to take Igor on his leash. That is, if he isn't too frightened by the whole scary mess. Now, if you'll excuse me while I put these two people out of your sight, I don't want them to worry. There I am. I want to get along with this fizz-biz here. Now, you understand about these things. You got to be real septic when you mix this stuff. I should be ready to start in a few minutes here. Just want to draw a little bit off. You got to taste the temperature, you know, just like a baby's bottle. You can't mess around with this regular stuff. Feels rather good. No. It's not quite room temperature. Nice and sharp, though. Down here, you know, it's a little hard to get things at room temperature. The humidity, you know. Speaking of humidity, that reminds me of good old London. And always remember the day that Count Dracula landed in good old jolly England.
I want you to have Renfield closely watched by day and night, especially by night.
Especially by night. That's the best time for vampires, I'll tell you. Vampire doesn't get around much in the daytime, you know. I'm all ready here to run off a little test batch, you might say. Got the stuff here, you know. You have to have the stuff, you know. Looks like this is going to be very... Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me. Whee! Hot! Whee! Oh! Ooh. Oh, dear. I'll have to get that off the wall before it eats through the stone, you know. Well, I always like to do my house cleaning the way Mama used to do it. I believe in the old-fashioned way.
Spring house cleaning, 1916, Grandma tied a rag on a broom and swept down the house. Then she scrubbed her walls and floors. It's a lot of work, scrubbing, rinsing, and wiping dry. And yet today there are some women who still do their spring house cleaning with those cumbersome extra steps. They use a laundry detergent. They scrub. And then they have to rinse and wipe dry. But what a difference with modern Spick and Span. You just dampen your sponge with Spick and Span. Its exclusive instant-acting formula absorbs the dirt on contact. There's no soaking, no rinsing, no wiping dry. Once over, work's over. You get shining results on walls, woodwork, kitchen cabinets, appliances, Venetian blinds, and linoleum. Spick and Span is safe for all washable surfaces, mild and gentle to your hands. So do your spring house cleaning the fast, easy way with Once Over Spick and Span.
When you tire easily and can't put your finger on the reason, when routine work becomes a chore, You may be the victim of phantom fatigue, caused simply by not getting enough of the food energy you need. Try Ovaltine, because fighting phantom fatigue is one of Ovaltine's 3 great benefits. Its soothing warmth starts untensing you. Soon, Ovaltine Quick Energy starts to pick you up. And in addition, when you drink Ovaltine regularly, its 27 vitamins, minerals, and other important food elements reinforce your diet, help preserve your vitality, keep nerves steady. And what's more, Ovaltine is delicious. You love its subtle, satisfying flavor. So, to fight phantom fatigue and to reinforce your diet, enjoy all of Ovaltine's wealth of soothing, energizing, protecting nourishment. Get Ovaltine today.
Sometimes this housework just wears me down, don't you know? Wears me down. I get so fatigued. And there's so many phantoms around the place. Something wrong here. That last little test batch was a little too soupy for me. I think perhaps a little live medicine, here's a little roots or two, will help the situation along. A little live stuff in the little bait, you know, kind of spruces it up. A little worm here. What am I famous here, you? That'll fix you, fellow. Now, let's see what we got here. No action here at all. Well, let's just try a little bubbly-o. Nothing. The whole fault was Igor's. He didn't get me a carbonated mailman like he promised. Besides that, he was hiding the greatest ingredient of all, bone dust. You gotta have good bone dust around the house, or you can't mix a thing, not in Transylvania. Now, just put a little of the old fluid in here. Here, you get in there. There you are. Sorry, my dear. Little damp, I know. Now, with the bone dust, you see, you have no problems. Oh, my, yes, no problems at all whatsoever. There's a little for you there, my dear. Now, let's see what we've got here. Oh, dear me. Here, my dear, spider. Absolutely delicious. Now, I hope you know how to make a Dracula fizz. If you've been paying attention and taking notes, you know the rights and wrongs, the ins and outs. An old Transylvanian home recipe. Tomorrow night, I have an announcement. Tomorrow night, I will be out in the western plains of Pennsylvania receiving an award of sorts. I will not be here. I have decided to do this because it gives... Whee-ha! That stuff is hot. I have decided to do this because my dear and Igor have been plaguing me to let them tell you one of my famous stories, and tomorrow night will be the time. The 4-sided triangle is the thing they're going to struggle through, and they'll have a deuce of a time, I know it. Nobody can tell my stories like I can. Now, my dear, I'm going to remove your stake so that you'll be able to have a little freedom tomorrow. A little bit tight, my dear. There we are. Now, is there anything that I can tell you in the way of a tip or two about telling a story? What do you mean you know all about it? You don't know a thing about it. Don't talk to me in that tone of voice, you vampire, you. You can tell the whole story with the whole stake. Yes, Count, I'm coming. This is a formal affair tomorrow, and I'm wearing my Transylvanian graduation cap. Now go have yourselves a good, bad dream, a nightmare, if you will.
whatever you are.
Well, there you go, there you go. That was Philadelphia, USA, and when I was called Roland. And then, of course, I say, and if you notice that big cage there that I was passing several times, that's the doorway that old Ed McMahon, he used to come out of that little thing and he'd say, this evening's movie is. But he graduated that, and now he's being accused of selling cheap insurance or something on TV. And anyway, he's a grand old boy, and I knew him, of course, and Dick Clark, both out of Philadelphia. But New York, where it's really big time, is what we're going to see now. And as I recall, we're going to do a lecture here on digging to the center of the earth. Very, very exciting, really, scientific project. And following that, there'll be an opera called Il Zacherley. Il Zacherley. Wonderful old Italian opera, sung in Transylvanian. And only performed once, never been performed again. I mean, that's very cool. And following that, of course, will be the visit from Dr. Bellevue, where I'm losing it a little bit, you know. And he comes to take me back to the that nice padded room at Bellevue Hospital for the summer. Grand old boy, you'll love Big Bob. He was a grand fellow. So let's get on here now with digging to the center of the earth up here in New York City.
Don't make so much noise, will you? Youngers, will you turn off the radio? I can't stand that music. But now, don't hand me that stuff, my dear. You're the one that wanted to play this game. I think you got into that dinosaur eggnog. That's a little too much there for you. There we go. Well, now, what are you playing there? You said you didn't have any diamonds before. Confounded woman. Whoever taught you to play this game in the first place? You're sick. There. Oh, you keep out of it, will you? Keep out. It's just you keep out of it. You're all mixed up with old maids and things here. Just forget the whole thing. All right. Play any more of this confounded game. Making me sick at my stomach, my dear. Will you carry on here? Oh, good evening, good evening. I think Mayday was just a little bit too much for the old dear. She had a little bit too much of that eggnog, and it almost did her in. Gasport here, he's recovered rather nicely from his operation. The stitches are still available here, of course, but he'll be all right. He's a grand boy. I think you'll be glad to know that this evening I am out to set the world straight again, as usual. I read an article in that New York Times thing that they print some pretty loose stuff there, I think, in that paper on occasion, and they had an article there about the scientific boys in the famous Mohole project, which is the digging down to the center of the earth, you know, and they've got the whole thing balled up, and I intend to go down there this evening, and perhaps we'll find the missing link down there, who knows what, you know, but we'll find it, whatever it is. Oh, by the way, speaking of new and wonderful things, we have this evening a premiere. Isn't that grand? This thing's called the... oh dear, I've done it again here. The man who lived twice. The man who lived twice. And this is a grand old story about changing your personality and so on, that sort of thing. And it's not... yes, I know. It's just grand to have these new ones here. And it's a rare occasion these days. Now, of course, I want to, providing the dear little woman that doesn't get in my way here, I'm going to go on with this thing. While you're recovering from the shock of the new film, I'll just prepare things and get the lecture set for this evening. Gasport, I'll hang up here. We'll get to you later, boy. And, well,
premiere, and just grand to have... What in the... Well, now let... Oh, for heaven's sake, here.
Science will be able to redeem such criminals and transform them into useful citizens. Well, that'll be all, gentlemen.
Is she the one that you'll kiss nightly?
Not with that mop. Look how unsightly.
How about this girl? Her face is fair.
But dig that hard and brittle hair.
Will he choose her to do his cooking?
Not on your life. Her hair's dead looking.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Besides, I'm only following in your footsteps. You've always been interested in those cases. I always say you started me in my criminal career.
Well, it's not much of a career if you ask me, the way he ended up there, poor boy. Anyway, it's grand to have a new story, isn't it? Just very comforting here to have old ABC putting out here for us. Now, I've located the thing, but I got one more bomb. I might as well set it off just for the day after May Day, you know. It's always a great time of rejoicing, and I'll just let it go there. I'm just a boy at heart, you know. I love a little... Oh, there we go. Well, now, that takes care of that. Now, I'll put up the digging. There's several methods of digging, of course, that are very important here. And I seem to be a little hung up here on this... Found it all. My dear, you're not helping. You're getting fatter, you know. I accuse you of that every day of the week. Oh, dear. I haven't left you. I'm still here, and there's no commercial coming. I'm just in trouble, that's all. You can figure a commercial out of this. You're crazier than I thought you were. All right. We'll just wait a minute here. There we go. Now, I, of course, scorn the several methods of digging down to the center of the earth, and my dear, you don't need that anymore. We're not going to send any more bombs up, so... All over now. Yes, lovely. Well, just really exciting, I know. Now, just wait till I get my tripod set up here. It's a four-legged tripod, which is another interesting effect, I think. Now, here we are. This is a little device that I've used successfully many times in this center of the earth dig. And I've succeeded in getting myself completely hung up on it. Yeah, there we are. Now, yeah, as they say. Isn't that interesting? Of course, it's all the more interesting because of what is supposed to happen in the next few minutes. Well, now just a minute here. All is not lost just yet. We'll get to the commercial sooner or later, but not yet. Now, I think maybe I shouldn't have gone through there. Maybe if I go through this way again. There we are. I've gone through twice now, and, yes, I'm free. I've done it. Here we are. Now, let's see how the hoist is by this time here. I don't have any hoist trouble here. There we are. Oh, everything's free now. You see, we can hoist away here like in good old sailor fashion. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. I was telling you how you see, I used the old-fashioned method. I used gas for. He's a champion digger in his day. And, yeah, that's right, boy. Speaking your name, son. Now, I will just send him down here and get him started digging. We use this as a shaft here. This box is very good for the job. My wife would kindly get over there in the corner. That's a dear girl. Actually, I find the old-fashioned methods are much more satisfactory, and it's because, of course, of these wonderful theories that I have espoused here before you that this program has been given the uplifting award.
It's new. It's different. It's the new cotton bra, Playtex Fashion Magic Bra with Stay Firm panels for personalized uplift. It's true.
At last, there's an uplift bra that really conforms to a woman's personal contours. Let me show you. Now, of course, we all want uplift, so Playtex created these stay-firm panels made of a new miracle fabric that lasts and lasts. Then they stitched the panels to the base of the Playtex Fashion Magic Bra to lift you firmly from beneath. But remember, we aren't all the same shape. So the panels are left free here at the top to conform to your personal contours, give you personalized uplift. The result, in a Playtex Fashion Magic Bra, your figure is lifted gracefully, comfortably. And remember, these panels are made of a miracle fabric that lasts and lasts. Gives you personalized uplift for the life of the bra. Get a Playtex Fashion Magic Bra soon.
Now, there are certain theories about the shape of the Earth which I should bring to your attention. Of course, the old Columbus, pre-Columbus theory of being flat and saucer-shaped and round and so on. And for all practical purposes, that has very little to do with what we're after tonight anyway, so I don't know why I brought it up. Except that I do want to get the gas port in shape here. We're going to throw him into the moho here with a dig. This is a great experience for all of us. Now, Gasport, I'm going to give you your shovel boy, and I want to wish you well down there, and do the best job you can, son. I'm counting on you to do the very best job you can. You just start right out from here, and away we go, right? There we go. Well, he seems to have gone down a little...
I was dumb enough to...
Oh! Had a confounded disaster there. I dropped Gasport through a kind of an old tunnel I had there from some years back. I didn't mean to get such a head start, you know. He's well on his way through the mucko layer already. I've got it all over me here. I just check on to see how he's doing here. Hey, Gasport! Gasport! Well, these interruptions are just getting... I mean, we're trying to do scientific things here. Oh, all right! I like to do these things the proper way, yeah. All right, boy, I'll hold up on you. My word, there we go. He's down quite a ways, you understand, and I have to... What in the heck you got here, boy? He's about 16 miles down there, and I don't know whether she's rather... Where is that? This is very, very interesting here, what we've got. You've all heard about this... Yes, I knew we'd hit that, all right. It's right there. There's a whole lot more of it here, so you can stare at it. I think it's rather interesting. Just look at that nest there. Isn't that sort of exciting, geological sort of way? We have many times heard about the seawater problem, people not having enough water to drink, fresh water, you know. And, of course, that is a problem. But it could be quickly solved. I'll just lower away here again. All right, take it away, boy. Take it away. Watch the bucket, kid. We don't want you hitting the head. There we are. Oh, yeah, I forgot. He likes to play down there, you know. He's not all work with Gasports, you know. This seawater, of course. You ready, boy? All right, man. The problem with seawater can be licked almost instantaneously once you get down to this lower level here because of the great pressure. And I will prove the point. Here we are. Now here, you may not believe this, but this is fresh water. Under pressure, down there, all the salt is squeezed out, mind you. Now that solves the whole problem. You just got deep enough. And that, of course, the scientific boys will find that out in due time. But it, of course, would be very exciting if you could have this coming out of your faucet, because then whenever you're thirsty, it comes so slowly, of course, you'd have no leaking problems with the faucet. You just cut yourself off a piece of fresh water, you see? You just lay that there. And if you're thirsty, you just Well, you cut a smaller piece, really. I'm not that thirsty. Well, you just, there's no really reason why I should drown here. You just assuage your thirst, you see, with a little piece of water. What? All right.
You don't even know I know.
It must remain our secret. We've got to be very, very careful. He remembers nothing about his past life.
Look, Doc, I love that guy. I'd do anything for him. Anything.
I believe you would.
That's all very touching, I'm sure. Oh! I haven't had this much exercise in weeks. This is grand. All right. Oh, my word. We're deep in it now. We're deep in it now. All right.
Look at here. Look at here, would you? The old boy better be a little more careful what he brings up here. Look at here. Look at here. Look at this mess here. What he's got here is an old... this, of course, to any experienced eye, is a very low-grade amoeba. There's not much breeding in this type. This is no good for laboratory animals whatsoever because there's no body to them. You've seen us do these things here before with the amoeba and the amoebae. That's plural, of course. But this is not really very good. You see, it's just all... There's nothing to it. I couldn't possibly operate on a thing like that, and it's account of the pressure, you see. The pressure change makes it just sort of disintegrate as it gets up here toward the top. I'll send him down again, boy. Want to see if he's on the ball there. Time to come up, I guess. Hold it, man. I'm off the hook here. Dump my trolley here. Now, take it easy, boy. Heaven's sake, boy, what did you... I don't know what he ate, but he didn't eat the banana. Well, I'll save that. I'll just sit down here for a minute, though. I want to, while I'm waiting on the old... Take her down, boy. I'll just go through a few things here that we've been... I've explained to you about the mail situation being all balled up as usual. And we get all kinds of packages, and I'll just take the time here to rattle a few names off here. There's one here from William McManus, and Alice Marcel, and Alan Breen, and we'll open them sooner or later, but that's the way it goes, you know. There's a fan club up in Hackensack, New Jersey. Gordon Basson, and... All right, boy. Wait, I got it. There we go. It's a pretty... All right. It's an emergency call there. There we are. Well, I'll be John. I'll just be John. Look at this. We got here a Darwinius dinosaurus here. This is the missing link here. By heavens, I thought it was a fossil, but it's alive. It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. Ah.
I'm ready, Inspector.
I waited a long time for this moment. Looked forward to it as the greatest day of my life. Now it's come, it doesn't give me the pleasure I thought it would.
Well, I've been looking forward to this premiere tonight, and now that it's almost over, I'm rather happy about the whole thing. This thing is rather amazing. As I say, these things disappear from the face of the earth, of course, when, I don't know why it was, but they disappeared. Actually, what happened was they had trouble with their eggs. I explained that to you last night about the dinosaur eggs and how they laid the big eggs, but the eggs are so dark and the dinosaurs can't see very well that they forgot where they put them, you know. And then eventually they got covered over with dust and things, and they got squashed until they're very tiny these days. Some few sneak around on top of the earth. Most of them are found down there under the big swamp hole. I'll just put this boy over because he doesn't seem to be doing anything worthwhile. You may let go here if you don't mind here. Look, come on, let's just... There we are, dear boy. He's got a grip on here, a death grip. He hasn't seen the light of day in about 3 million years. There's no wonder he's hanging on here. There we are, old boy. One more little toesy here. I'll just put you over here in the sink, and you'll be very happy there, won't you? Eh? Hey, the grand boy. There we are, boy. Just stay there and behave yourself.
This decision is in your hands. Shall Dr. James Blake pay for the crimes of Slick Rawley? How are you going to answer that question?
Why don't you mind your own business, eh? You nosy rascal, you. I'll tell you about something else here. I had in mind. Oh, yes, don't worry about the... Oh, hello there, old boy. Did you have any luck? Eh? Well, I did want to tell you about the... Now, watch it there, son. Just behave yourself. We're friends, you know. I may have to give him some of that solid water here to calm him down. Well, I wish you'd all get out of here, wherever you are, and... Well, I look around for the bearing, because this is a bad state of affairs, with things floating here and there. Oh, bearing, oh, where'd you go? Oh, bearing, oh, where'd you go? Just have my overture finished here in just a moment here now. Let's see here. So dreadfully busy here this evening working on this now. Let's see, we've got Jack there, and we've got everything all set up here. My dear, good evening. I'm Zacherley here, and I'm busy finishing my opera that I promised I would write for Gaspard. He teased me into it, you know. Sorry, Gaspard, much too busy to talk tonight. Too busy composing here. By the way, I wish to announce that that the the regular show on Monday will not be heard because of the fact that we're going to have a very special show on New Year's Eve. And I shall be showing little adventurous things from the past year's shock affairs, you know. And I will be choosing the Man of the Year in Transylvania. That's New Year's Eve. Now, for pity's sake, don't miss that, will you? Hey, that's next Wednesday. No show on Monday, no live show. My dear, I want to borrow the old steak here. There we go, my dear. Now, how's your finger work, eh? Very nice, my dear, very nice. All right, you may whiz into the overture, I think you know. I've been writing this thing quite recently, and having attended the gala opening in the opera at Bessaria last weekend, I decided that I would write my opera and get it over with. You know, I figure that the plot of an opera is not much worse than the plot of a movie, so if you can't lick 'em, join 'em, you know. Well, I implemented my decision by writing music and, of course, the libretto to an exciting new work, a dramatic masterpiece that probably will never be repeated again after this evening, as a matter of fact. It's entitled Il Draculare. Thank you, my dear. Now, of course, the opera opens with Count Dracula pursuing the beautiful Princess Ananka, you understand. And she's visiting her uncle, Dr. Frankenstein. But Princess Ananka is secretly in love with Larry Talbot, younger brother. He goes under the name of Jack Milton. That's the way I worked it out. Jack Milton has been unjustly accused, mind you, by the Internal Revenue Department. And he has become a troubadour. And he has also just won the head-smashing contest in Bessaria. Princess Ananka running through the Malaphasia Gardens in a diaphanous dress, off-white tulle, you know. Jack Milton in hot pursuit. Count Dracula. Now the two men meet, and they fight, and Dracula has his head smashed, and he sings a dark hymn of revenge, Non voglio giocare in vostra cortiglia. Tempo, my dear, tempo. I don't want to play in your yard. I don't like you anymore. You'll be sorry when you see me sliding down your cellar door. You can holler down my rain bar. You can climb my apple tree. I don't want to play in your yard if you won't be good to me. Very much. I wish I didn't have to say it, but we have a film this evening called Horror Island. It's on an island and it's pretty horrible. Well, now, here we go again. Let's get right on with the opera here. Now, you realize Count Dracula was quite annoyed at having his head smashed. So he kidnaps Princess Ananka to his castle in the Carpathian Mountains. He discovers there that not only is she not beautiful, but her father, the rich father Amon-Ra, is still alive in Egypt. So the Count, he locks her in his torture chamber, where she sings the haunting lament, Ci sarebbe Giacomo. My mother was a lady, as yours you will allow, and you may have a sister who needs protection now. I come to this fair city to find a brother dear, and you wouldn't dare insult me, sir, if Jack were here on Mickey Mantle, if Jack were only here.
Here's Mickey Mantle, star Yankee outfielder. And there it goes. That ball has home run written all over it. What timing, what power, what a ball player. Let's pick him up in the clubhouse. Hey, Mickey, how are you coming?
Be with you in a minute, as soon as I comb my hair. You know, this Formula 9 is terrific for keeping my hair in place. It's easy to use, too.
Right. You rub in Charles Antel's Formula 9 for man and comb. Your hair stays under control all day. So take a tip from Mickey Mantle.
Great stuff. Try it.
Get Charles Antel's Formula 9, liquid or cream.
Get Playtex, the girdle in the slim tube, gardenia white, petal pink, or glamorous black.
Well, sir, as Princess Ananka was lamenting, Jack Milton set out on his horse, which soon died. And after a brief eulogy, addio ciao, cavallo vecchio, goodbye, old paint. He leaves his horse and he jumps onto the commuter train. When the train breaks down, he leaps from the coach with a great curse. Non spizzare della carrozza! Della carrozza! Don't spit on the floor. Then he proceeds to the gypsy camp outside the little town of Uspenskaya. Now the gypsies there are singing of the great folk hero McCluskey, who knocked out Attila the Hun in 10 rounds. Ah, throw him down, McCluskey, was to be the battle cry. Throw him down, McCluskey, you can lick him if you try. Future generations with wonder and delight will read on history's pages of the great McCluskey fight. We'll read on history's pages of the great McCluskey fight. We'll read on history's pages of the great McCluskey fight. We'll read on history's pages of the great McCluskey fight. Oh! Now let's stop this thing. I can't stand any more of this film. Will you just slow it down here just a bit? I can't stand it. watch any more of this confounded thing. All right, Isabel, all right, all right. She says make the film shorter, so I've done just that. I know you wouldn't want me to make the opera any shorter, so I've made the film shorter, get you all in bed a little earlier this evening. You won't miss what you missed anyway. You know what I always say about those films, don't you? Horror Island, oh boy. Now, you remember that Jack Milton was at the gypsy camp, and, all right, my dear, suddenly, peals of thunder bore down on Borgia Pass, and then the storm breaks. My dear, that's right, my dear. Oh, my dear. Confound you. You'll have to get with it, kid, that's all. This bad weather, of course, brings out all the monsters in the area, and I have written a spectacular ballet entitled L'Entrata dei Mostri Allegro e Giosi. The entrance of the little monsters. Now, Jack, finding himself entirely surrounded by little jerks, he says, "Io sono malato! Io sono malato! Io sono malato! Io sono malato! Io sono malato!"
Now, at the first sign of a sore throat, use Iodine Gargle to stop that sore throat pain fast. Only new Iodine Gargle contains iodine, world's greatest germ killer, in a new, safe, pleasant-tasting form. Here's how Iodine Gargle works. This is raw, painful sore throat lining. But Iodine Gargle quickly spreads a new kind of soothing germ-killing film over sore throat area. And here's what germs look like in your sore throat before using Iodine Gargle. After using Iodine Gargle, germ count is way down. And Iodine Gargle tastes good. Get concentrated Iodine Gargle and stop sore throat pain fast.
Get Careers by Parker Brothers, makers of world-famous Monopoly, at your favorite game counter.
Now, after that touching aria, we have the, what we have? Oh yes, we have the mummies. That's why I'm all jazzed up here. The mummy entrance of the mummies, you know. We have the all-male mummies chorus here this evening. I got them down below there. And the point is, of course, that as you all recall, that the mummies, the whole ballet is based on that wonderful mummy business of, you know, the walk, you know. You all recall, yes, certainly do. Now, we'll all begin. All right, boys. Ready, boys?
One of his legs is longer than it really ought to be.
No, wait. Hold it, my dear. I realize, of course, with all the bandages across the mouths, it's been a little difficult for you to understand, so I'll go along with them. All right, boys, letter RX there. Ready? Here we go. Oh, one of his legs is longer than it really ought to be. We all began to pity him and give our sympathy. But Jack took care. Yours is many more like me that has a leg that's shorter than it really ought to be. One of his legs is delightful, my dear, absolutely delightful. Now, of course, you know that by now the Jolly Monsters have left without telling Milton where Castle Dracula is. This, of course, makes Milton very cross. So after whipping a peasant or two to relieve his inhibitions, he finds his way to the cave where his brother is at. Larry Talbot, the werewolf, who is frozen in the ice. Now, Larry is melted out, and he sings the great baritone aria, "Look, Mamma Mia, no hair." And Milton's eyes fill up with tears as he peels the onions for supper and listens to Larry's glorious voice as he recites his favorite theme song.
Do you know the stomach secretes 2 pints of gastric acid every day? But with an overacid condition, it can produce 1, 2, 3, 4 pints a day. No wonder this excess acid can cause heartburn, gas, that burning sensation. But now Rolaide's amazing new medical ingredient takes care of twice as much excess stomach acid as a harsh alkalizer. Let me dramatize this difference for you. Here are 2 beakers of acid such as found in the stomach. When I put an old-style alkalizing ingredient into this acid, watch what happens. You can tell by the color, only half clear. The old-style alkalizing ingredient took care of only half the acid. Now watch what happens when I use Rolaide's miracle ingredient. All of the acid here is taken care of.
Now, after they have supped and put the candelabra in the sink for the gypsy woman to clean up, they go upstairs to the torture chamber and hide behind a chair. And there they find Count Dracula making improper advances to Princess Ananka. She cries piteously, "Down a boy!" And entranced at the spectacle, Milton coughs slightly. Count Dracula turns on him in a fury, just a moment, in a fury, and he says, he cries rather, "Eschi fiore di dietro quella sedia! Come from out behind that chair, you!" Peekaboo, peekaboo, come out from behind the chair. Peekaboo, peekaboo, I see you hiding there. Peekaboo, out from behind the chair. Peekaboo, peekaboo, I see you hiding there. Oh, you rascal, peekaboo, peekaboo, out from behind the chair.
Playing and Dane's screaming.
Shut up and sit down.
That's the last one. Here we go now, my dear, my dear. Are you ready? Here we go. Peekaboo, peekaboo, come out from behind the chair. Peekaboo, peekaboo, I see you hiding there. Ha ha! Lovely, my dear. That's a favorite of the whole opera. That I had to tease along with there. Well, now, during the ensuing scuffle between Dracula and Milton, Milton manages to escape and takes a job as a goat herd. Larry is overcome with depression, and he is placed back in his ice cube. Another way, good way to get rid of him, I thought. Dracula flees to a lonely mountain crag, and he has himself there a martini on the rocks. Then he takes the number 17 bus back to the castle, where he sits down and he catches up on the latest vampire fashions, you know.
What's new in the fashion picture? This lovely design by Seal Chapman, and Playtex brings the picture to life to show you how to fit your figure to the fashion. For that lovely line, she wears a Playtex living bra.
All right, my dear, all right. Confound it, she's a little tiring of the whole mess here. The movie, of course, not the opera, but just the same, I have to humor her a bit. All right, my dear, this piece, she's been learning this for weeks. I'll just go ahead, my dear, just a little bit. Dracula returns to the castle. As he enters, the great iron door in the anteroom opens, and it is Amon-Ra, Princess Ananka's father. He pronounces a dreadful curse, and to get even with him, Dracula has him tied up and thrown into the moat. Isn't that lovely? Of course it is.
Oh, I forgot all about you.
build a fire, a tremendous fire. Then everything will be more cheerful. That's a good idea. I'll get to work. I'll go with you.
Now, of course, having thrown Princess Ananka's father into the moat, of course, the way was now clear for Count Dracula to achieve his ambition and marry the Princess Ananka. Now, a great wedding feast was prepared, and the hall is filled with the rejects from the Ben Hex show. And as the bride walks up the aisle, the guests bare their heads and shout, "Hail, Princess! Hail, Princess!" And the orchestra swells to a climax of radiant beauty. And it looked like the beginning of a perfect marriage until he took off his cloak, you know.
It looked like the beginning of a beautiful friendship until he took off his cap. And she just plain took off. Too bad. Dry, lifeless hair can take the fun out of your life, but you can put it back with Brill Cream.
Now let's try that again. That radiant beauty jazz, my dear. The orchestra swells to radiant beauty. Grand, my. And then we go into the wedding festival song, you know, and they all throw things. To be married, for the heart will be unruly, really love you truly. Well, to be married, oh, I love you, love you, love you, I love you all the time. Aspetta. Silenzio! Well, if you must know, my dear, they lived happily ever after, of course. Why not? Who wouldn't be proud and happy to marry the old Count, after all? I must remind you, of course, of the New Year's Eve affair, l'affaire New Year's Eve. We are not going to be here Monday as we usually are. But we'll be here New Year's Eve with a grand climax to the year, and I will choose the Transylvanian Man of the Year. I'm sure you're all waiting to hear who that might be. I'll tell you one thing, it won't be anybody in this movie tonight. We've got some bad movies here at Channel 7, but that one's one of the worst, I think. Some guy had the nerve to call up and said he liked the movie. Well, all right, Larry. I'm coming, Larry boy. I hear your gentle wolf call calling, Larry boy. Oh, Gasport, boy. Had a grand sleep there, boy. Grand sleep. Well, we'll have our grand party here this evening, boy. We'll just put you back up here where you belong here, and yeah, that's a boy. Wow, that's the spirit. I'm glad to hear you. Yeah, liven things up here a bit, boy. Yes. Well, Creeper, your old friend Creeper will be here in a while. We'll have a grand party, celebrate everything, and I have a feeling we're going to be going back to Transylvania, boy, very shortly. Oh. Well, I think what we need around here is a little excitement like they've got in that so-called film there, where almost trapped there, as usually are, won't they? Out there, all you people, there's a special announcement here this evening that I better get over with. That's about an art show of sorts, you know, they're having after this thing tonight, if you've got the energy and strength to stay with it, I mean, you know. These people that are putting this thing on, I don't know what they call themselves, the famous artist school or something. Of course, I taught them all they know, so there'll be a grand double feature sort of this evening. Well, now, we've got a film tonight. Let me see, what's on the books for tonight? Oh, yes, the Weird Woman. Weird Woman. Yeah, honest, boy, couldn't you have done better than that one? I mean, after all, we've been to that fire before, boy.
She's a high priestess now.
It's almost unbelievable. Finding someone like you in this strange setting with witchcraft and jungle gods, it's...
Kill him, Big Bun! Kill him! I think we get ready for the party this evening. I'll have to set up a few... I think the old dinosaur eggnog would come in handy here. I've got one here, all set here. There we are. I've had this fellow down in the lower hole, you know, of the crypt, and we'll just set him up here. I've got him all plugged and ready here. He's got his hose in. You know, these dinosaur eggs, of course, are very rare, and I don't want to go into that again. I've explained that to you. I'll just lay this on here to keep it cool. Stuff is much better when it's cool, of course. And I've got a few things here I want to add to it. a few spiders here. Gas ports. A few spiders here. I'll just tenderize them there and throw them in the stuff there. Well, my dear. Well, I'll just run a little of this off here. This. Here we are. Here we go. There we are. That's your stuff. Yeah. Well, now. There we are. Now, I wish my daddy were here. He's wild about this stuff. Absolutely wild. Well, I tasted that. It was rather good. It'll be all right as soon as it mellows there a bit. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves here this evening. Larry and all of you. You boys up there in the amphitheater. All right, tell you up there, pay attention, you know. Always pay attention to what goes on here. Well, now, I think we're about to have a party here. We better light up the place, brighten up the atmosphere, you know, and get all the light we can on the subject here. There we go. 2 at a time. That's always rather tricky. My dear, how about a little dance later on here, huh? A little pas de deux, huh? How about that? Would that be according to your wishes, my dear? Certainly. Janos, if you just turn on the... That's grand. Here, my dear, step out now. Here we go. Out you come, my dear. Easy there, easy. Here, step in my hand here. There we go. There we are. All right, my dear, just right around here, eh? Here we go. Ah, you're just divine, my dear, just divine this evening. Just fine, my dear. That's a dear girl. That's a dear girl. Oh, I beg your pardon. Sorry. Sorry there. Ah, we haven't danced like this in a long time, have we, my dear? All right, my dear. That's just probably the Prince of Montenegro or somebody like that's arriving here. That's just fine. That's fine. Ta 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 ta. Lovely to have you here. Janos, if you get the red carpet out, I want the prince to be treated properly when he comes here. But just lay it there by the stairs. Grand, boy, grand. Gasport, old boy, would you like to join us? Ah-cha-cha, la-la-la-la-la-la. Get the red carpet, boy. Right over here. Grand. Good evening, good evening. Yes, indeed, it is lovely to have you all here. Hello, boys.
Confess it to me, my dear. You've been lying to me, haven't you, Lady Dracula? Eh? Confess that you're mad about me, aren't you, eh? Oh, yes, you are. Remember those days down in the swamps, my dear? Oh, I beg your pardon, Count. No, I'm sorry. Nothing between us at all, old boy. Nothing. I've got enough trouble with my wife here. I wouldn't want to bother with you. No offense, but yours is a little bit worse. You would agree, would you not, eh? Oh, yes, indeed. We've had a very successful year here, Count. We've covered many subjects. We've shot rockets. We've done all sorts of things. Brain transplants have been very successful here, and I've got great reports to take back, of course, to the university. I'm sure you'll. Yes, I'll get you another in a moment here. Oh, by the way, I've got something very interesting here. 2 grand 105 millimeter brains here that have all by themselves have. That's fine. I just drained off a good bit here, and I'll here we are. Have myself a little bit here. Grand stuff. Dinosaur eggnog for parties. Gasport, my dear, that was a delightful dance. I thank you. I thank you, my dear. Just delightful the way you were very light this evening, very light. Well, everyone enjoying themselves here? Gasport, boy, how about a little duet here? Don't you think we could handle that, couldn't we, boy? How about a little bash your little head in, hey? Let's try that here. Oh, bash my little head in my head, in my head, and bash my little head in and say you'll be mine. Come jump in my coffin and we'll both be off in another world together. Oh, say you'll be mine. Bash my little head in my head, in my head in... Ah, well, good evening. The Prince of Montenegro, I believe. Well, how are things back at the embassy, my dear boy?
Oh, very good, very good.
It's grand. The Prime Minister as well. Yes. Well, we're having a little party here this evening. A little party here. We're going back, you know, to Transylvania. We're going back there. I've been called to give some lectures and so on to the university. And I will be taking my wife and old Gasport here and so on. I think you know most of the people here and all the assembled crowd here. I think perhaps you're a little warm, eh? I'll just pour you out a little dinosaur eggnog here. How's that, eh? Isn't that lovely? There you are. And we'll have one for the road, eh? Well, here, try this one here. If that doesn't suit you. There we are. For the road, and the Prime Minister of Transylvania. Again, the Prime Minister's wife. That's a grand girl. Yeah, she could have tried. Found it all. I don't know here. Well, not yet, old boy, not yet. We don't want to leave the party here. We got Transylvania will still be there after all when we get back. I I want you to meet my wife here. I don't think you've seen my wife in a long time here. Step over here. And, of course, you remember Gasport, don't you? Old Gasport here. Yes, that's right. And over here, of course, is my dear wife. Don't upset the eggnog there. This is my dear wife here. Isn't she charming there? That's Isabel. Isabel, this is the doctor here.
Hi, Izzy.
We are now. Well, one more here. Let's have another before we go on here. We don't want to rush these things. Here you are. That's for you. And what's the matter? You're not afraid of a little dirt, are you? I mean, after all, I'll take care of that. Don't be afraid of little germs, you know. That's what I always say, you know. It's rather good, isn't it?
Very.
Well, wouldn't you like to stay and join the party? I mean, after all, these are rather attractive, I think, these things. Do you care to? Isn't that grand? I'll join you here. I want to make sure that you know all the dear people here. I want to introduce you to the boys and the grand boys up here in the amphitheater. These are the student interns, you know, from that's the crowd there from Bellevue there. Bellevue boys. And these are the boys from the Kings County over here. Kings County boys up there. A few nurses up there, you see there. You shouldn't hold hands there, boys. I've told you about that before. Just pay attention there. And then all the guests here, I want you to meet. This is my old friend here, the Creeper. Fine old boy here. And then we have, of course, Dr. Frankenstein, the Baron here, of course. And then, of course, we've got the Princess Ananka here. This is Princess Ananka. Isn't she lovely? And, and we... No, I'm sorry. No, not the princess. Is very... Mustn't touch. Old Pharaoh family, you know. You can't... No. Then, of course, here's the Baron Lugosi here. And Sir Boris Karloff here. Isn't he grand? And here's Larry Wolfman here. Larry, I'm awfully pleased. Nice to have you here, Larry. And here's old Dr. Zucco. Dr. Zucco, of course, did many expeditions, you remember. Grand boy. And Doctor, awfully pleased. How's Madam Zucco, huh? Grand girl, the Madam. Quite a history there. Yes, the early years were very rough. Here, of course, is Rudy Waxworks here. Grand boy Rudy. And, of course, Madam Zenobia, the Spider Lady. Now, no little milkshakes tonight like last night, eh? I want to introduce you here to the guest of honor, of course. This, of course, is Count and Lady Dracula. Count and Lady Dracula. No, I'm sorry. That's the Count. The Countess is here. Countess. This is Dr. Bellevue, Countess. Dr. Bellevue and the Count here. Sir, he's a grand old sport, yes. Well, I think it's time now for the Grand March. If you just step back here with me, sir, we'll get ready for the Grand March. Not first, I'm sorry. First goes the Count and the Countess by custom, of course. Just make way here. The honors, if you'll play the... There we go. No, I beg your pardon. Priorities here, you know. Everybody in line here. Just right on around there.
Princess Ananka, I would like to have you meet Dr. Bellevue. Dr. Bellevue, this is the Princess Ananka. This is the one I told you about, you know, fine old Egyptian family, pharaohs for centuries and all that, you know. I've been trying to convince her to have a new paint job, you know. New paint job is what I think she needs here, really. New paint. Now we're ready for the entertainment of the evening. We're going to be, oh, say here, these were, isn't this grand? Let's try a few of these, eh? That's fine. That's a little firework water music. Here comes. Well, we've got, I think it's time here now that all these ceremonies are over with, that we have the lecture of the evening. And I'm pleased tonight that I have with me here Dr. Bellevue, the eminent brain surgeon, who will give us the lecture of the evening. All you boys up there, just be patient and get your notebooks ready. Dr. Bellevue now will address us on the subject of brain culture, how you grow them. Dr. Bellevue.
Well, Betty's on my seat.
Go right ahead, Doctor. Go right ahead there, Doctor.
Hello?
Huh? What's the matter? Well, if you don't like our parties, why don't you move somewhere else, eh?
That's right.
Don't talk to me like that now. You just go find yourself some... Hey, oh, well, I don't know if the Counts can handle all that. Have yourself a little more. Oh, it's alive, isn't it, eh? Well, I'll tell you what, here, oh, Gaspard here, he hasn't had much fun tonight, you know. He's been rather quiet, and he hasn't had much fun. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll tease him along a bit, eh? He's a grand boy, you know. He's been with me for years, you know that. If you'll just put the telephone there over behind you there, maybe we'll have a little time with the old boy here, eh? He likes this. This is an old game he likes. Now, here we are. Are we all ready? Oh, dear me, I don't know if you should. Well, here we go. Gaspard, old boy, this is what he likes, you know. Just gently, he goes. Just gently. Ta-ta-ta-tee. Oh, I've been digging in the graveyard. Oh, the dun-dun-dun. That's a boy, Gaspard. You like that, don't you, boy? Isn't that grand? Gaspard? 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 Well, time to get back to the embassy, I suppose, isn't it?
That's right.
Well, all right, I'll just say goodbye to my wife here, if you don't mind. Just say goodbye to my wife. My dear, you will take care of yourself, won't you, my dear? Eh? And don't let the Count horse around here while he's... Take care of yourself, won't you, my dear? And, Gaspard, old boy, you behave yourself now and don't do anything untoward, as we say in the world. Well, I just want to have a last word with him here. Gaspard, old boy, you just don't forget to eat your spiders every day. And, well, after you? Ah, yes, yes. Well, goodbye, my dear. Goodbye, Gaspard. Watch the steps there. Watch the steps there. right, whatever you are.
Well, wasn't that exciting? Of course it was. Everything has to do with these old horror movies and shock theater and so on. And they noticed they call it Zacherley at large there at one time, but it was basically shock theater. And I know that you've all grown up to be doctors, lawyers, and all those kinds of strange individuals. And some people have even grown up to be cameramen as they're standing around here in a drunken state shooting this stuff. I very appreciate the fact that they know what they're doing. Or at least they pretend to know what they're doing. So there'll be more stuff in the future. I know in the closet there's old things like the Tom Snyder show that I did some years ago, and he was a good old boy. And I can't think of all the rest. We've got some other things. Oh, Channel 9. Remember Channel 9 had the 3D? What a big fake that was. That was useless. Got those little glasses, you know. Terrible, terrible thing. But they'll keep working on that till they get real 3D on TV to make it worthwhile, you know. And of course, I want to mention that the CD called Dead Man's Ball will be reissued with some more songs on it. And someone suggested that we might call it Dead Man's Other Ball. Well, that's neither here nor there, but that might be a good title. There's a video out that's hard to find. I'm telling you all this good news. You can't get any of these things I'm talking about that they're out. Horrible Horror, grand old collection of films. I think something like 52 selections from different films. And messing around. It's called Horrible Horror, and that's a Good Times product. You find them in Walmart and Kmart. They have racks, you know, for those things. And there's a new one also coming out called Bela Lugosi's Greatest Hits, some of which was filmed in Patterson, New Jersey, top of the hill where the castle is. We had a grand time over there. Oh my God. What an afternoon that was. At any rate, it's being worked on and edited and so on, so that'll be available. And can't think of anything else. But those other old, Good Morning America, before it became Good Morning America. I was on that thing one time with a really nice guy, and I can't think of his name. Well, anyway, that'll be a good thing to look at. And Disco Teen, the dancing show, we've got tapes on that too. We could get that out there so you could have to sit and watch the music from 1956 and 7 in there. Watch the kids from New Jersey jumping around like little rascals that they were. Some of them still are. Well, that's about it. And I want to thank. Let's see, who did I write down here? I want to thank. I don't want to make say, oh, yes, the Right Honorable Ellis Sard and Sir Roger Shope and Robert Prescott Esquire, who worked on the New York shows, and of course the Philadelphia gang, most of whom have passed on, as we say. I'll see them before you do. And let's see, and the crew here tonight, of course, will have titles here and all that stuff. And to all of you out there who have lived these times, these nighttime shows with me, I want to bid you all a good night, whatever you are. All right, yes, my dear, I'll sing you a little lullaby in a moment here. I hope you enjoyed all that nonsense we just showed you there. Thank you, Igor. Did a good job, Igor, on the old projector there. I'm using the old famous cross stitch here. This is what we always teach the medical boys in Transylvania how to do it. This skin, by the way, you won't even see. I think that's enough of it. My dear, why don't you play your mouth organ there, and I'll sing you a little lullaby to you as we put the just play your. Go ahead, my dear. Huh? You play your damn mouth organ, my dear. That's better, that's better. This is a little song I sing to her, put her to sleep in the evenings. Hush-a-bye, rockabye. The Spider-Man is coming by to spin a web of dreams for you. Casket high, casket low, Daddy rocks you to and fro. The Spider-Man will make your dreams come true. Dream about a tiny hearse, magic land, I beg your pardon, where shadows fill the sky. Where shadows fill the sky. I forgot the words. We better do that again. Yes, my dear, I hear. Yes. I'm just sewing up the old amoeba here. It'll heal properly, and who knows, maybe something will come of it. Hey, Eddie, you can run for mayor of New York City again in 100 years. Oh, what a slimy mess. Well, it's been grand here being with you, and I've got to, if I wipe my hands on my coat here, it rots the coat. However, oh, here's some liquid here. Ooh, that's very hot stuff. Well.